Second part of that question: do black women think that they're better than black men?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Bruh.
Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know. I think
Not the cap.
currently, like a lot of black women are like focused on their careers and they're climbing, they're having financial upward mobility.
I'm a PhD.
And the whole like being independent and I can do it myself thing, I think has inflated the ego, especially when you look at your counterparts and you're like, well, they're not doing it and they're not this and that. So I think if you just look at it as a whole, like I think a lot of black women feel like we've climbed to a certain point and like we don't need them, and to me that equates to being like I'm better than you or you don't offer anything.
Paris, you're shaking your head. What do you agree?
Yeah, I do think that that's the mentality across the board now, because when you're telling somebody you don't need them, you're essentially saying that they can't contribute anything to you, that they can't add to you. You've already fulfilled everything. And I also think that this mentality is kind of like going to be consistently embedded throughout the next couple generations, especially when you have a repeated cycle of women looking more so to the women's empowerment, and we're trying to propagate this idea that we're the only ones who feel each other. We're the only ones who have the certain type of oppression. We're the only ones who are safe with each other, which we know is not true. And then too, you have a lot of black men who are now becoming more active fathers and up in those numbers, but their mentality is that of Simons, and all you're doing is actually like teaching your daughters to push away from men.
You say the traumas. If I accept them, then you got to do something about them. Because what about the traumas that the black man has to deal with? But we still have to get out here and be functioning people in society, contributing. You don't get to walk around and say, have a special victim status.
I'm not saying we should have a special victim status, but our circumstance is different. We are women. We are less.
You're 24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great grandmother?
Exponentially easier. We have access to information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse. Your grandmother, your great grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we're all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being...
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me. Now that you're independent, you don't need to be with. There you go. There you go. And there you go, black man. There it is. She's finally got one to say it.
Build businesses with us.
Your grandmothers and your great grandmothers had more trauma and more stress and did it better.
The so-called professional black woman is a wonder to behold. She loves her job and the public acclaim it affords her. She is a workaholic when challenged by her boss to complete certain tasks. She tries to make comrades of her co-workers and often confides in them about her home life and would try to build her entire life around her job if allowed to. Her main focus is to achieve the highest possible title available in her field and make the most money doing so. She also hopes to be considered the best dressed employee ever. She will spend humongous sums of money on clothes so she can look more prosperous than she is. Somewhere along the line, the black woman adopted the foolish idea that she should wear a different outfit to work every day of the year, if possible. She is so selfish and self-centered. She believes that coworkers count her outfits and by doing so can tell what she has. So she put forth great effort to make sure they can think she has a ton of clothes. While on her tip-top job, she stays late for meetings, volunteers for special assignments, hauls home a briefcase full of papers every night, and would treat her boss, white or black, with extra charm if she thinks it will help her get ahead in both title and salary. She is exceptionally proud of her alma mater and prides herself on getting a full college education that qualifies her for special jobs. She thinks it makes her superior, and if her man happens to not have attended college, She would throw it up in his face whenever she has a sophisticated talk with him about something he's not familiar with. She learned a lot of her nonsense about the Black woman's place from her former education, or should it be called miseducation. She is seen to adjust her values and demeanor to fit and get along on her job. All of the on-the-job principles that white Americans adhere to are accepted by her, and she tries to live up to them also. If her man tells her she is spending too much time on her job, she may rebel and say he is jealous of her career and doesn't want her to get ahead and make more money than he does. She has the same kind of irrational explanation for everything the Black man asks of her while she is working on her big time gig. She will come home bragging about her accomplishments on the job, or about her great boss and what a fantastic man he is, or that she just spent such and such on a present for her boss, or my boss is taking me out to dinner. It matters not to her that her own family or man needs her at home to fix dinner for them. She convinces the Black man that she cannot be stopped because she's on a roll moving up in the world. A world that is not hers, because her world is one that should be rotating around the Black man. Around the Black nation. Unlike any other species, the Black female rejects her natural mate and offspring to cling to the culture of others in the name of holding down a job. She reminds the Black man of his perceived financial shortcomings by saying, we need the money. If she gets a hard-earning promotion, she boasts to everyone in earshot about how she pleased her employer enough with her dedicated services to be promoted. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, continuing my reading of Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And this is chapter 13, Education and Career, page 128, what I'm starting off on. The Black woman is too good for the Black man because she found her comfortable place in the white man's world. The Black women who subscribe to this mindset and this supposed reality, these are a lot of the Black women that we see on display. These are a lot of the Black women that we hear from. These are your Hollywood elites, your collegiate elites, your political elites, your newscasters, like all the people that we would normally see out in the public realms, in those places. The Ebony K. Williams and all of the other bougie type upper crust, or in their minds bougie and upper crust, the women who they have placed themselves on a pedestal and put themselves in the stratosphere where they can't afford to look down on a man. I remember a clip from Gabrielle Union saying that if she makes more than her man, she can not only disrespect him, but cheat on him, because she's earned the right to do that because of the amount of money she makes. It's more than what he makes. So that gives her superiority. So we're dealing with women with a superiority complex, but an inferior reality. Let me say that again. We're dealing with women that has a superiority complex, but an inferior reality. If Black women, or women period, but if Black women specifically have achieved so much and were in such great places, they wouldn't be complaining about being on the bottom. They wouldn't be complaining about their place in society. It's a false perception built off of false narratives because white women lied to them. White women lied to them so they can turn their backs on their families and be in this position, while the white women went back to their husbands. The white women, all that liberal movement and women's movement and all that stuff there, they went back to their husbands. While the Black women went further away from their husbands and further away from their families. Black women continue to make babies and continue to push themselves up the white corporate ladder and push their heads up the white man's butt and the white woman's butt to get that perceived place, that comfort, that success. Because remember, For these type of black people, success means that white people admire you, white people like you, white people have accepted you, and white people are giving you a place in their world. To them, that's what success means: white proximity, white acknowledgement, white accolades, right? So the black woman has adopted this mindset that she is the man and she is the woman. Matter of fact, a lot of these black women are turning into the men that they desire because they feel like they must, and the excuse is, well, it's not enough eligible men out here. No, they went to college, right? I went to college, and I hated with a passion hearing black women on these college campuses talk down on men who didn't go to college as if they are more intelligent than these men. And it's funny because these black women will talk as if they're so much more intelligent than blue collar men or men who didn't go to college. But yet this same woman is crying, boo-hoo, crying over, and she's so distraught and her life is so in shambles because she dates a dude who can't read out loud. She's so intelligent that she picked a man who can't read out loud. But we know why she did that. I mean, she did that to make herself feel even more superior. But the intelligence, though, the so intelligent woman has picked a man who can't read out loud, and he's running her through the mud. But she's intelligent. She's more intelligent than the blue collar man, the Ebony K. Williams of the world. The women, I've been hearing this for a while. If she has a PhD, she has to get a man with a PhD because no other man will be able to keep up with her intellectually. Lady, stop it. You are not brilliant like that. You're not that intelligent. Stop that. You know something specialized in one subject. That doesn't mean you are a well-rounded scholar in everything. Stop it. You can tell you whatever you need to tell yourself to feel good about being lonely. You do it. But men with sense won't put up with that. But that's another thing that why Shahrazad Ali wrote this book, to put some sense in men's head. You don't put up with that. You don't put up with that. But it's I ain't gonna lie. It kind of got me on one to hear women explain, to hear black women explain that they believe that they are better than black men, and even everything that's going around the political climate right now with Kamala Harris and all these people doing what they're doing. It's like the idea of we as black men are not intelligent enough. We don't have what we need. We don't have the goal. We're not man enough. We're not adult enough. We're not none of these things. And black women should tell us what to do. Black women should be leading us, even though they've led the black community into a toilet. But we don't want to be honest about those things, though. Right? I'm just saying. Black America is messed up. And black America is continuing to get worse. But it's mindsets like these. Of course, we're not saying this is the only mindset that is putting black America in the toilet. But this is the one that we're examining right now. Right? So let's pick back up page 129, the second paragraph. She doesn't know that the black man doesn't mind her earning a high salary. It doesn't really make him feel less of a man, and he doesn't really feel a need to compete with her. And it's just that she can't handle it herself. See, nobody's ever talked about it from that perspective. She earns more than him, but she has the problem. And she always puts it off. I hear men and women put it off. So many men are intimidated. 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 Right, but you're the common denominator in all this. Every man you meet is intimidated by how much you make. Every man you meet is intimidated by how much you make, sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself to handle being lonely. So, yeah. Her feelings of guilt are self-nurtured. She is the one who becomes uncomfortable about how much money she earns, especially if it's more than her man. If she shared her salary with her man and put it all in one pot, she would not be apt to feel superior or to make him feel inferior. Nevertheless, she parades around claiming that she wishes she could find a man who was not intimidated by her high salary and corporate image. Her equation that money equals power in her relationship with the black man unfounded, yet she thinks money is the measure of who is in charge of making decisions in the home. Of course, this idea creates a lot of problems for the black man in the home. The black man is supposed to be the boss in the home, and it has nothing to do with who makes the most money. The black woman belongs to the black man, and everything she owns belongs to him. All ancient black civilizations were set up in this way because it is a system that allows the man to be in a more powerful position with the added clout of the wealth of his wives. If a black woman nags the black man about not making enough money or expounds daily about how he should have more ambition, he will surely seek out another mate who accepts him without consulting his wallet. The black woman mistakenly thinks that if she nags the black man long enough, or stays mad at him long enough, or refuses his affections long enough, that will make him give in and submit to her ideas. Instead, it runs him away, and he is outside looking for peace of mind. This peace of mind may come in the form of another woman, drugs, alcohol, or other than normal perversions, which there are plenty. I mean, the idea, like, that reminds me, I was watching one of them pop the balloon shows, and the guy seemed like people seem pretty straight, right? But superficial means are causing people to pop their balloons. But one girl just out the blue in this setting asked the man, how much does he make, and got mad that he didn't tell her how much he makes, as if he owes her that. I don't know you, lady, but we are at a place. Let's stop lying and let's put it on the table. We are at a place to where there is a superiority complex from some women, but especially those upper crust bougie women. There is a superiority complex. Upper crust bougie people think that they are just more superior than just a regular everyday black person. They do. But for this specifically, we're examining that upper crust bougie black woman, or the woman who believes or thinks in her mind that she's upper crust bougie and is going to treat black men like boo-boo anyway, because she has a degree and she makes money on her own. It's funny to hear women talk about, I can do this because I make my own money and I make my own decisions and I do this on my own. You're an adult. You're a single adult. Who else is supposed to do it for you? Come on, man. Stop bragging about being a damn adult. Stop bragging about being a single adult. You're a single adult. Nobody else is supposed to do it for you. But that doesn't make you better than black men. And black women seem to forget that on one hand, they talk about how much more money that they make than black men. And then on the other hand, complain about a wage gap. Well, which one is it? It's either you're making more money than us or you're not. Which one is it? Don't make it a wage gap when you're trying to manipulate the ways to get what you want. If you were so superior than us, so much smarter than us, and made so much more money than us, you wouldn't have to try to manipulate us into getting you what you want. You would have the power to get what you want and to manipulate things to move with to operate how you want to. But because it doesn't, it means you don't have the power. You only have the illusion. But the illusion is helping to tear us apart. You are not better than the black man. The black man is not better than the black woman. But the more you feel like you're better than your counterpart, the worse it will become. Black women are on the bottom. What more do we need to talk about? Get your heads out of your butts and realize that what you're doing, you continue to employ losing strategies. Who does that? Who continues to employ losing strategies and brag about it? Only Negroes. What you're doing is not working and you're bragging about it. Wow, because you feel like you're getting more a closer proximity to whiteness and finding your place in the white world. When the black woman is crossed with the black man and breaks his peace, he is unable to function in his normal way. If he is able to function, it is because he's been forced to develop the I don't care or F it attitude that resorts him to calm. He develops this attitude because of the futility of trying to get his points over to the black woman who rejects them. She wants him to suffer if she is displaced with him in any way. She will uphold his peace until she is satisfied he has been punished enough and has learned his lesson. Listen to that. As if she is his mother, as if it's her duty to teach him a lesson. Well, not exactly his lesson, but her lesson. She fights in the same way to defend her rights to work, control her own money, and to be excused from womanly duties. If she attends a party at work, she often uses another voice, laughs at jokes or incidents which are not funny to blacks, and is chummy to her coworkers. Although she is not on the job to socialize or fraternize, she becomes adept at appearing to be interested in office jokes. Sometimes off-color stories and other kinds of conversations not fit for the ears of a black woman when told by strangers. On some jobs, the black woman is still subject to be pinched, patted on the behind, touched in a familiar way, or fondled at will by her boss or bosses. The black woman sometimes accepts this kind of disrespectful action because she wants to keep her job and thinks that if she does not go along with the touching and patting, that she will be fired. And she will in most cases. Most of this goes on for several levels of employment. On the more classy jobs, many of them file lawsuits claiming harassment. But on the more menial jobs, black women do not know how to defend themselves. If the black woman should get wind of a report, the black woman, if the black man should get wind of a report the black woman is being offended physically by her boss, he should demand that she quit the job. No job is so important that the black woman exchanges her dignity for a few dollars more. Older black women are also subject to this kind of behavior from their male bosses and feel they are defenseless because they need the job. Black men should question their women, their sisters, and their mothers to make sure that they are not being disrespected on the job. And that's real. No job is worth your livelihood, your peace of mind, your respect, your dignity. No job is worth that, and no salary is worth that, and no societal place or whatever societal ranking is worth that. No black woman should be in a place to where she is being violated and consistently violated by those around her for their personal pleasure. So yes, she should not have to go through that to get what she wants, but I do think that we need to work more on making sure that black people can be in black spaces. Now, some of those corporate a-holes can be black men too. And some of those corporate unsafe spaces could be black spaces, but that's why Shahrazad Ali is more so talking about not being so dedicated to having your place in the white man's world that you put yourself in danger or keep yourself in danger, rather. I won't say black women are putting themselves in danger, but if the environment is not safe, there's no excuse for staying in that environment, and we should do whatever we can to get the women out of that environment and keep them safe. But the problem is we haven't put ourselves in the best position to do that. Black America, period, have not put ourselves in the best position to keep ourselves safe, men or women. It's high time we understand that. So Shahrazad Ali goes on to saying, unfortunately, interracial dating has become commonplace in the workplace, and many black women feel honored if their white boss or white coworkers show special personal interest in them. Office romances of all kinds are apt to surface if she is spending several hours a day with another man than her own. Let me read that again. Office romances of all kinds are apt to surface if she is spending several hours a day with another man other than her own. If a man and woman spend extensive time together and develop intimate communications from the close proximity they are working in daily or nightly, the black man should be aware that nature will take its course. Yeah, somebody getting cheated on. Unless the two workers are totally repulsed by each other, the potential for an affair is present. The Black woman will work closely and dedicated with the men on her job and cooperate fully to complete the project. Of course, her motivation is financial. It is her job she thinks she is performing just for the money. If she must work outside the home, and many Black women have talents that others can benefit from, the Black man should make sure that the environment is safe from SA and SH, and safe from overtly close involvement with other men. The Black woman romanticizes a lot, and she is not above comparing her boss and coworker with her man at home and deciding that the former has more to offer than what they have, they have more to offer and have more in common. Today's ideas of work are specific and competitive, and those who have chosen to work must adapt the same ideas of the job hosting them. The Black woman is not exempt from these perspectives. Moving so fast, she no longer has time to examine her motivations or actions. She looks about her and see what's going on with others and believes she must match the tempo of their pace if she wants to achieve. She is constantly concerned about what they will think about how she dresses, how she looks, what she has, who her man is. She notes that the Black man is more often than not absent, missing from the job because of a lack of skills, prison, old age, drugs, craziness, illness, or dissatisfaction. She feels more alone today than she has ever been before. The media have set up such a bad and unwholesome picture of the Black man that she is often embarrassed to even be associated with the Black man who is not wearing a suit or carrying a briefcase. She considers it beneath her dignity to develop a relationship with what is referred to as a blue-collar worker. She has adopted the standards of white America and believes her education makes her superior to the Black man who may not have the same interests or options. In fact, if a so-called intelligent, attractive, successfully employed Black woman dates or becomes genuinely interested in a Black man who her friends consider to be below her social status, her friends would criticize her and remind her that she should be with a doctor or lawyer, etc. Right. So, and here we are today. The blue-collar man, the bus driver, the everyday worker, the man that works with his hands is not good enough for the Black woman because the Black woman has surpassed him in intellect and salary. Well, not necessarily. A lot of these blue-collar men make way more money than y'all white-collar Black women, and way more money than you white-collar Black men. But a lot of times it's not just about the money, it's about the image, it's about the idea. So this man is a construction worker. This man works in this realm. This man works in that realm. This man is a plumber. This man is a plumber. He makes 7 figures, but he doesn't look like it. He doesn't talk like he makes 7 figures. I don't know what you talk. I don't know what that sounds like, but he doesn't talk like it doesn't look like. He drives a Ford F-150. And he has 2 cars, a Ford F-150 and an early 2000 Toyota Camry. He wears a uniform and boots, and his hands be dirty. And he doesn't have a college degree. But he's a good man. He treats you right. He has character. He has integrity. Takes care of himself, takes care of his home, his finances, the people around him. He doesn't have any, he's not married, so he doesn't have any children because he believes in making children within a marriage. He doesn't treat people right, has a great reputation in the community, but because he's a blue-collar worker, he's not a white-collar worker, he's not good enough. He doesn't look like he's good. Now, he don't drive a Mercedes. He don't wear all the fancy white label clothes. He doesn't fit the idea of what a corporate successful person would be. So this Black man gets overlooked. And then Black women say that there are not enough eligible Black men for them. What they mean is there are not enough mature Black women for the Black men who are out here, because these Black women have immature mindsets thinking that, hey, well, you have to have a college degree or you have to work in the white collar world. Basically, you have to be interested in what I'm interested in. And if you're not, something is wrong with you because, hey, I am the measure. I am the mark. Black women set the tone. Black women set the standard. Black women set the measure for Black America. That might be why Black America ain't doing good. I'm just saying, if we're being honest, that might be why Black America isn't doing well at all. As a whole, Black America, we're not doing good at all. And our elite are some of the main ones who are helping to pile on while we're not doing good. But let me continue my reading. Black women think that they are too good for some Black men, when in effect it is the direct opposite. Some Black men are too good to have to put up with some of the funky dispositions of today's Black woman. The Black woman the Black man should be himself and exercise his power and will over the Black woman. Her Harvard degree or office door name plate has no place in her personal affairs with her man. It has no value there. The only place her training or education has any value is on her job. And she should be reminded to leave her hoity-toity behavior on the job where it belongs. This is not to say that the Black woman should be kept down on the farm rooting potatoes. Certainly she should be educated, intelligent, courteous, cleanliness, cheerfulness, and dependability. You having a degree or making a whole lot of money does not have anything to do with you being a butthole. You having a degree or having a good job does not have anything to do with thinking you are better than Black men, or have you thinking you are talking, have you looking down on Black men. If you were so great, you wouldn't be complaining about your lot in life. Come on, let's be real. If what these type of Black women were doing that was so great, they wouldn't be constantly complaining about their lot in life. They're competing with, Shahrazad Ali said this, they're competing with Black men, of course, competing with white men and competing with white women because they want to be in the places that all three groups are named. The Black women want the place of the Black man, the white man, and the white woman because she understands innately and inherently that she is on the bottom in this Western society. She understands that. But she has to also understand how she keeps herself on the bottom. You keep playing into and helping the white narratives keep you on the bottom. You keep running away from your man. You keep running away from the one group of people who are there for you to help both of us get past the other two groups. But you keep running from them because you're listening to this white liberal stuff telling you that you don't need a man. The Black woman is equally baffled about why the unemployed Black man cannot find a job and settle into it for a zillion years until retirement. It appears so simple to her. She has no problem finding work of some kind if she really sets her mind to it. She has several survival cushions at her disposal, not readily available to the Black man. If she is single, she can sometimes easily move in with a girlfriend, move back home with another relative. If she has children and falls on hard times, she can get welfare, food stamps, medical care, and a place to live. She can get these benefits sick or well, no matter what her age, and she can get them literally for as long as she likes. The Black man is in no such position. If he falls upon hard times, it is difficult, if not impossible, for him to find a place where he is welcome to live with no money. Males do not readily take each other in as women do. Black women also do not take in a Black man who cannot pull his own weight financially. We already know. Once a Black man loses his job, he is on the clock. If he has had relationships with several women who he remains in contact with, sometimes he can live with them for a short while before they become impatient with his displacement and starts making side remarks about his being out of work. His other option is to try to move back home if he has relatives, or to become homeless and live in a shelter or on the streets, as many Black men do. He certainly cannot move back home as readily as a Black woman. His mother, a Black woman, eventually feels the same way as other Black women. He should get out and get a job, any job, as long as he makes some money, and he should get out and get him a woman, or he should get out, period. Black women give no consideration to the jobless rate of Black men and boys and the jobless rate of black men and boys in general. She is not the least bit concerned with what she considers false pride about what kind of job she will take, how much money he desires to earn, or he must be treated on a job in order to stay on it. Let me read that again. That didn't make no sense to me. Black women have no consideration of the jobless rate of black men and boys in general. She is not the least bit concerned with what she considers false pride about what kind of job he will take, how much money he desires to earn, or how he must be treated on the job in order to stay on it. He is expected to suffer any kind of insults or vile treatment as long as he makes some money. Make my money. You a man. Shut up and take it. You're a man. You're supposed to be the provider. That's what they tell us, right? We're providers. We're supposed to be the providers. We're supposed to be the protectors. It's funny how they can always tell us what we're supposed to do, but can't remember what they're supposed to do. Like the innate stuff. We're innately supposed to be providers and protectors, but the innate stuff that, go with women, or the traditional stuff, it should change, but the men's stuff shouldn't change, But that's the idea of a woman who has literally brought into the white supremacist notions of you are different and better than your man. Black man and the black woman are not the same. The upper crust bougie black women have made it their mission to let the world know that they are different from black men. They are not the same black people as black men. They are different. They are not black people like we are. They're different. So they must be looked at as different and treated different. Well, we give them what they want. So if she lets him move in with her or continue to live with her when he loses his job or quits his job, it is not long before she makes him feel he is the lowest creature in the swamp, as if the sum total of his self-worth is based on the dollar. This is another contradiction because she claims she wants the black man home with her, but only when she's there and only if he gives up the money. She takes the lessons of the whore. If a man sleeps with her, he owes her money for the privilege. No romance without finance, or you will have to pay to play after her. You will have to pay to play all her slogans. Same old rhetoric, same old language, yada, 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 yada. We get it. The separation is damaging. The separation is not good. The separation is what has Black America in its dysfunctional place right now. So clearly getting these college degrees and getting these jobs ain't really helped that much. It made us dumber. Black people went and got degrees and got good jobs and got dumber. Because we can't even figure out how to get along with each other. We can't even figure out how to create families and maintain families. We got dumber. And take that and chew on. Broadening the spectrum, if the black man quits or gets fired from his job, the black woman panics more than he does. She calls her parents and everyone else she knows to inform them of the bad news, which is horrible. Keep other people out your business. And why you feel like you got to do all that? You're doing too much now. All of these people advise her how to handle it as if she were the wounded party. She immediately becomes worried that she and or the children will starve to death. She launches a panic rocket landing on the thought of her living in a barrel or somewhere in the subway instead of trying to comfort her man and assure him that they can work something out. She may mention the fact that she can get a part-time job in addition to her full-time one. Her financial security is easily shaken because she can't bear the thought that she might have to change her style of living or give up a few of her material things, and God forbid the neighbors from finding out. She becomes convinced that if he got fired, he must have done something wrong. And whatever happened, he should have preserved his job. Most of them believe that their security is working in the system for large white-owned entities. Many black men never stop looking for the opening by which they can escape a job owned by someone else and own one of his own. His plight at the time is another whole tub of worms and worry. His woman may or may not help him in his quest to go for self. And if he should fail, and some ideas do fail, she lets him know that he should have known that it wouldn't work in the first place. If she really does not like his new business venture, she would not help. She will withhold her help because she is in charge. Remember, in their mind, he has to maintain her. He has to please her. He has to keep her around. It's her happiness that matters. It's her peace, her mind, her place that matters. It's not him. It's not anything else. It's about her because she is the star of the show. That's why they usually end up by themselves. Think about it. If it's all about you, it ends up literally all about you by yourself. It's not all about you. And if you continue to think it's all about you, Black America will continue to fall apart. Black America is getting worse. And one of the reasons why Black America is getting worse is mindsets like these, of these type of women, this upper crust type of woman who believes that she is better than the black man. To hear those women in the videos talk about that they are better than black men. Because you've done what? What has the black woman done that the black man hasn't that makes her so much better than the black man? What have you suffered that we haven't suffered? What have you achieved that we haven't achieved? We're literally in this together. But some of these black women and some of these Roland Martin black men, these upper crust black men, believe that they are better than the rest of us. But they are the ones who are constantly complaining about white America, constantly begging white America to do something different and be different. But they're better. All right. The problem the black woman presents the black man with regarding her behavior in the workplace, or how she acts when she works on the same job as he does, or how she demonstrates her fierce competitive aura makes for bad vibes between them. He is sick and tired of all that woman's lib, boldness, and fed up with her aggressive actions. The black man has responded to the black woman's aggression in the workplace by retaliating in the following ways. And these are 10 ways that the black man has retaliated to the black woman in nonviolent ways. 1, he stays away from her. 2, keeps his contact superficial and platonic. 3, he does not voluntarily help her financially. 4, he has turned to the white woman and the Oriental woman for love. 5, he declines and ducks marriage. 6, he does not make a full emotional commitment. 7, he does not share his ideas with her. 8, he becomes bitter towards all women in general. 9, and in many cases, he withdraws from her bed. And 10, he does not plan on a future that includes her. The black woman has the misplaced notion that she can treat the black man any way that she please, and that he has to take it if he wants the sex. This has proven once again to be another failed plan, because the black man, while mostly silent, is using the nonviolent skills listed above to get back at her. She in turn becomes more adamant in her charges against him, and the standoff continues. The black woman is convinced that she must go for self and achieve her own personal goals. She will fully compete with the black man to prove her superiority and flaunts among the society, bellowing her achievements. Professional gain has taken precedence over her male relationship. The black man does not have any special worth to her. He is just another opponent who persists on getting in her way as she mounts the glistening rungs of the corporate ladder. Any advancement outside the home is considered high achievement, no matter how many casualties she causes. When she is criticized for competing with the black man for the best jobs under the white man's employment system, she dismisses her evil intent and claims that the black man is just a sore loser and not as qualified as she is. She gives less than a damn about his need to have adequate funds to support his family. She wants accolades from her coworkers and other strangers, and she wants material things that cost cash money. She believes she can outdo the black man in every category and takes pride in being labeled as a tough B on the job. And she takes special pleasure in her never-ending plight to prove her equity with the black man, the white woman, and the white man. She feels inadequate to all three groups and is often compelled to achieve higher pay and higher recognition as a defense mechanism. All of this not to say that the black woman should not work outside the home, but a job does promote the idea of independence and separation, like the young lady said in the clip, especially in the brass-laden carpet corridors of the corporate world. If she does not know what to expect and plan how she will defer negative stumbling blocks, she is doomed to become a victim of peer pressure and change for the worse. Any change she makes contrary to what her man wants and expects will be detrimental. She's constantly, literally, physically working against her man, working to be the man, working to outdo the man, because she looks down on him. She feels she's better than him because, hey, I could find my own place in this white world. Even though I'm struggling to find my place in this white world, I could find my own place. And if I don't, I'm going to keep trying. And if I don't find my place, at least my place will be better than the black man's, because the black man failed us. The black man didn't protect us from white people. So, on the issue of the black woman working overtime, please know that the black woman wants to please her bosses. Many of them work late into the evening and into the night, Saturdays and Sundays, or full weekends. Obviously, to do this, she must neglect other ideas of her life that require care and maintenance. Cooking dinner and cleaning the house, spending time with her man often go lacking due to her hectic overtime schedule. No black woman should become dedicated to her job or so-called career if it requires her to neglect her family. As priority stressed, mealtime is a very important event in the black household. All schedules should be adjusted whenever possible to allow for mealtime congregating for family members. This is similar to an every evening reunion of the groups. If the black woman finds it unavoidable to get out of working overtime, she should prepare all her meals on the weekend and freeze them so they can be reheated each weekend evening for dinner, or get up earlier each morning to fix the dinner meal. Under no circumstances should the black man and his children have to eat junk food or scuffle around in the kitchen on their own just so the black woman can work overtime or on somebody else's job. Her first job and her first responsibility is to her man and family. Small children especially need their mother home with them in the evening, and weekends should somehow be devoted to some relaxed family time or outside activities together. Of course, it is impossible to maintain this schedule every weekend, but at least once a month, the family should participate in a group activity or communal enjoyment. And yes, she will rebel against the black man, informing her that she needs to cut her overtime down. It is also wise at this time that he asks her what she intends to do with the extra money she is earning. And we all know the answer to that question. We know what she would say. She would say that she's going to put the money up and use the money to help the family invest and help him do this and this and that. But for a lot of these women, they are planning their escape or preparing for the downfall of their relationship or the other shoe to drop. However they may say it, they are preparing in case the man leaves them, because they've all been told that the man will leave, especially if he gets in a better position. He's going to leave her, because ain't that what men do? Look at all the evidence, or of course, y'all know I'm being sarcastic, but look at all the evidence of men just leaving women just left and right, just willy-nilly. All these men just leaving women. And these women are so vulnerable and put in so many bad spaces that they have to keep their money to themselves. Men, if you are dating and making babies and marrying women who think that it's all about them, who believe they are the center of the world. They're the center of your lives, and everything revolves around them, and you must please them, and you must take care of them, and everything is about them. You have made a mistake. You have made a grave mistake. You must please them. You must uplift them. You must have them on your pedestal. You must bow to them. They are the leaders. They are your leaders. You have made a great mistake. She is not a team player. Matter of fact, she wants to have her own team, and she wants you to be on her team, to follow her plan. Well, what does that say about you, and what does that say about her? She's adopted a masculine attitude and a masculine mindset, and you've adopted a feminine one. A lot of times these women these days, they're saying that they have had to become more masculine. And we know that's not true. Women these days don't face, like Kevin Samuels said in the clip, they don't face half the things black women 100, 200 years ago faced. And those women that in those times didn't have to be masculine. But the women these days keep making excuses of they have to be masculine. They have to put themselves in these places. They have to be on top. They have to dominate. They don't. They're not being honest about, they want their place in white society. They want their glory. They want to be remembered. They want to be successful in the eyes of the white world. It's really what they want. But they're not going to be honest about it because they don't have the gumption and the gall to be honest about that. But some do, many don't. That's how we get the clip of them saying that, of the women saying that they believe that black women, the black women saying, yeah, we don't need black men, and the other black women saying that, yeah, black women think that they are better than black men. And I do run across black women who, because I work in the professional healthcare world, I run across black women who think that they are better than black men. And usually those women don't have men. Usually they're by themselves. And then they'll make up every excuse in the book, and they'll tell themselves whatever they need to tell themselves, and they'll tell you whatever they need to say to make themselves feel good about being by themselves. Being by ourselves means we failed at the family unit. We failed as a community. We failed as a society. We failed as a nation. We failed as people, as a group. We failed. I'm just reporting the stats. I mean, I would go off in a tangent, but what's the point of going off in a tangent if black people want to continue to doing what they're doing? This election cycle has it's a constant reminder that these upper crust black women who think like this don't give a damn about the black community. We have so many women who have brought into the bull that they are literally willing to burn this thing down to get what they want. They're willing to burn the black community down and be by themselves to get what they want, ultimately meaning they really don't have an idea of what they want. They just don't want nobody making them feel bad. And then ultimately what they do want is a place at the white man's table. So they're willing to burn the black community down, willing to burn the black family down, willing to burn the black nation down, only to have a seat at the white man's table, because that is success. If that's not backwards, I don't know what it is, but hey. So that's chapter 13, Education and Career, from pages 128 to 137. Chapter 14, next week's video is going to be attitude, talking about the black woman's attitude. And we are dipping into that a bit here today, because the attitude is, I don't need a man and I'm better than black men. Well, excuse me. So if the shoe fits, wear it and do what you need to do to make adjustments. But the rate that we're going and the direction that we're going, it's over for black people. Remember, this book was written in 1989, and it holds more true today than it did in 1989. If I didn't tell you this book was written in 1989, you swear it was a contemporary book. But that's how bad things have gotten for us. So, hey, like, comment, subscribe, share. Make sure you do that. Hit that like button. Comment. I want to know what you think. hit that share button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you can get these so you can get the notifications of these videos dropping. Make sure y'all check out these shorts that I'm putting out. Make sure y'all check out everything, the clips that I'm putting out. Just support. I've had my interest meeting for my Black History School. We had some people show up. We're gonna have another interest meeting in about 2 weeks, and then we're gonna get started. And I'm gonna keep y'all up to date on everything that we got going on in our Black History School, because I'm excited that we're gonna have a chance to pour into these young people in my city more than I have in the past about this Black history. And it's strictly Black history, and we get to do it how we want to do it. So I'm excited about that. The On the Shoulders of Giants Black History School is coming soon, and it's about to happen. So shout out to all the parents that showed up, all the children that showed up for the interest meeting on Saturday. And we look forward to building more, learning more, and doing more. Hey, man, if we don't give back to our kids, who will? Love you all. Make sure y'all catch the next video coming up.